What would you do if you saw freedom being taken away, one rule at a time? For George Orwell, the answer was clear: right. Right until the world could no longer ignore the dangers of totalitarianism. Today, we delve into the life of this visionary author, exploring how his struggles, beliefs, and observations shaped the timeless classics 1984 and Animal Farm. At the end of the video, you can see the first AI-generated video of Orwell on YouTube, how he might have looked in a modern setting, and even a smiling expression on his face. A contradictory beginning. Born as Eric Arthur Blair in 1903 in British India, Orwell grew up in a society defined by class and empire. His family wasn't wealthy, but they belonged to the lower upper middle class. This odd mix of privilege and modesty gave Orwell a unique perspective on social inequality. As a child, Orwell was sent to elite schools in England. He excelled academically but felt out of place among the wealthy boys. This sense of alienation would later fuel his disdain for oppressive systems. A journey into injustice. After finishing school, Orwell didn't take the traditional path of his peers. Instead, he joined the Indian Imperial Police in Burma. For 5 years, he served as an enforcer of British colonial rule, a job he came to despise. Witnessing the cruelty of imperialism firsthand planted the seeds of rebellion in his mind. Eventually, he abandoned his post and returned to England. Determined to understand the struggles of the poor, Orwell lived as a beggar, worked as a dishwasher, and documented his experiences in Down and Out in Paris and London. The Spanish Civil War, a turning point. Orwell's life took a dramatic turn when he joined the fight against fascism in the Spanish Civil War. Serving in a socialist militia, he experienced the horrors of war and the betrayal of ideals. Orwell was wounded in the throat by a sniper's bullet, a near-death experience that deepened his hatred for totalitarian regimes. This period solidified Orwell's belief in the power of truth. He saw how propaganda could distort reality and how language could be weaponized, a theme that would dominate his later works. Writing for the ages. By the 1940s, Orwell had established himself as a writer with a sharp eye for social and political issues. In 1945, he published Animal Farm, a satirical novella that exposed the corruption of the Soviet Union's leadership. But it was his next work, 1984, that cemented his legacy. The novel painted a chilling picture of a dystopian world where surveillance, censorship, and manipulation crushed individuality. Orwell's warnings about Big Brother and doublethink remain eerily relevant today. A life of struggle and vision. Orwell's personal life was marked by hardship. He battled poverty, loneliness, and chronic health issues, including tuberculosis, which ultimately claimed his life in 1950 at the age of 46. Despite his struggles, Orwell never stopped fighting for justice through his words. George Orwell's life teaches us the value of speaking out, even when it's difficult. His works are not just stories but warnings, cautionary tales about the fragility of freedom and the dangers of unchecked power. If you believe in the importance of truth, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Let's keep Orwell's vision alive by continuing to question the world around us. Now, as promised, we produce to you his recreated appearances.